Hello, welcome to the Villages. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. If you're interested in selling your home and are trying to get as much as you can for it, or you're trying to buy a home and you're trying to buy one as inexpensively as possible, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help you or answer any questions you have. Today, we're going to start by taking a look at an anomaly. I know that a lot of you are getting your information online as opposed to from a realtor, but I thought that you would find this information helpful. You're looking at three maps here. The first map is the Redfin map that shows all homes available in the villages, and they're number 332. The second map you see in the middle is the Zillow map of homes for sale in the villages, and they number 397. And the third map that you see on the far right is Realtor.com's view of all villages listings, and they total 533, whereas the MLS system shows currently 350 homes. So you really need to be careful when you're looking at real estate online to ensure that the home you're looking at actually qualifies for village amenities. So let's continue by taking a look at interest rates. For those new to the channel, what we're looking at here is the yield on the 10-year government bond. This is the yield that most closely tracks the mortgage rates. And this week, the 10-year bond, as of today, is yielding 3.43%, up dramatically from the 0.398 that we saw 2 years ago, but down about a percent from the high that we saw towards the end of last year. Looking at this graph, it's anybody's guess as to whether yields continue higher or fall from here. But it's worth noting that over the weekend, OPEC cut production by 1 million barrels a day, which is obviously going to help oil prices be stronger, and it's going to make the inflation fight harder, and that certainly will pressure rates higher. We'll see whether the slowdown in the domestic economy has a greater effect on interest rates than inflation, but that remains to be seen, and I'm sure we're all watching it with bated breath. Let's turn our attention now to the village's real estate market itself. This graph shows us total listings, which this week number 350. Last week there were 356 active listings. Listings this week range in price from 179,000 to just under $2 million. That 1,995,000 house was the house that was listed for 2.1 in prior weeks. It's encouraging that at least temporarily the number of listings has not continued to increase in the last 2 weeks. This breakdown of listings by price segment gives you an idea as to where there is activity. In the $300,000 to $500,000 range, this week there are 208 listings. Last week there were 211. The week before there were 203. The week before 211, and the week before 216. Here we look at the median listing price per square foot for all listings, which this week is unchanged from last week and unchanged from the week before. We're at $261.89 a square foot, and although this is the lowest that we've seen over the last year, at least we haven't seen further declines. Here we take a look at the median time on the market for all listings. This week, the median time is 40 days. Last week, the median time was 42 days. Perhaps there's some encouragement here in this graph, seeing the median time in the market holding steady at 40 days as opposed to the 55 we saw at the beginning of the year. This graph shows us new listings and pending home sales over the prior 7-day period. Over the last 7 days, there were 40 new listings. The previous 7 days saw 38, and the number of homes that went pending over the last 7 days was 47. Previous 7 days was 45. Looking at the graph here, the orange bars are the pending home sales, and the blue bars are new listings. Another point of encouragement is that for the last 2 weeks, the number of homes being taken off the market has exceeded the number of new homes being listed. Here's an in-depth look at the new listings and what price segments they fall into. This week there are 40 new listings. Last week there were 38. The new listings range in price from $275,000 to $844,000. And in the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range, the last 7 days there were 27 new listings. Prior 7 days there were 26. Previous 7 days also 26. Previous 7 days 19, and the previous 7 20. A closer look at the pending home sales over the last 7 days. The price per square foot on the homes that went pending was $254.45, exactly $1 lower per square foot than we saw the previous week, where it was $255.45. Here we look at how long homes were on the market before they went pending. The last 7 days, they were on the market for a median time of 45 days. Previous 7 days, they were only on the market for a median time of 27 days. 45 is definitely towards the higher end of the range, and it's among the longest periods of time that we've seen since we started doing the show a year ago. Here's our look at homes that sold and closed over the last 7 days. 41 homes. Previous 7 days saw only 26 homes close. Homes that sold ranged in price from 250,000 to 860,000. 41 sales in 7 days is among the most active periods that we've seen over the last year. Here's more detail on the homes that sold and closed over the last 7 days. In the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range, 22 homes closed. Previous 7 days saw 15, 7 days prior to that 14, 7 days prior to that 10, and the 7 days prior to that 21. Here we look at the homes that sold and closed over the last 7 days and what the median price per square foot was. Over the last 7 days, it was $251 a square foot. The previous 7 days, it was $258 a square foot. There doesn't seem to be much movement in this graph. 250 a square foot seems to be the number we've been bouncing around over the last year. Here we look at how long homes were on the market that eventually sold before they were taken off the market. Over the last 7 days, those homes were on the market for a median time of 39 days. The previous 7 days, it was only 31 days. This is a little more worrying graph. 39 days before being taken off the market is approaching the highest levels that we've seen. Here's a summary to give you some idea as to how enthusiastic buyers are. Of the 41 homes that sold and closed over the last 7 days, 7 were on the market for 7 days or less before being taken off the market, which is 17%. Previous week saw only 8% of those homes being taken off the market that quickly. Of the 47 homes that went pending, 9 were on the market for 7 days or less, which is 19%, very similar to the 22% that we saw last week. And if we look at the number of listings that have been on the market for more than 100 days, 73 out of 350 total listings have been on the market more than 100 days, which is 21%, about the same as the 22% that we saw last week. And the final two things we look at are what percentage of listings have reduced their asking price and what is the amount of the reduction. We'll start with the percentage of listings that have reduced their asking price from the original listing price. 51.43% have reduced their asking price. Slight improvement from last week's 51.69%. Looking at this graph, though, there is some encouragement that the percentage did not continue to increase. And finally, we take a look at what the median decrease from the original listing price is for all listings currently on the MLS. 5%, literally 5%, exactly 5% is the median decrease. And remarkably, that is exactly the decrease that was in effect last week. So that concludes this week's look at the Villages real estate market. If you have any questions about real estate in the Villages, if you're interested in buying a home and you're trying to get a good deal, or you're trying to sell a home and maximize your return, or you just have general questions about life in the Villages, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Be happy to answer any questions you have. Hope to hear from you. Take care.